Hi everyone, I'm Dawn, your astrologer, here to talk to you about the upcoming Uranus retrograde. Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius and has been transiting the sign of Taurus since 2019. Well, actually, Uranus moved into Taurus in 2018 in May, made a quick little retrograde back into Aries, and then by March of 2019 was in Taurus for the long haul until 2026, a 7-year transit. And every year, this planet retrogrades. So the same retrograde period was August to January of last year. This year, Uranus in Taurus stations retrograde at 18 degrees of Taurus on August 24th, and it will station direct on January the 22nd at 14 degrees of Taurus. And so this is a time, as with any retrograde planet, where things go within. Whatever the archetypal energies of that planet are, instead of us seeking them from outward sources, we now look within, even in the outer planets like Uranus. So when we look at what the energies of this planet represent, it is the modern ruler of Aquarius, the age that we are moving into. And what's very interesting is the backstory of Saturn, the ancient ruler of Aquarius, has been transiting Aquarius and squaring off against Uranus all of last year 3 times, pretty closely during the recent Aquarius full moon, and will have its 4th and final square to Uranus, and this will be happening really, you may as well say, the first 2 weeks of October for the 4th and final square. So the energies of Uranus, being the ruler of Aquarius, represent innovation, our higher consciousness. If you think of the age of Aquarius, we are moving into innovation, advancements in technology and cosmology and medical sciences. And then from a spiritual perspective, this is the planet that occupies and rules our higher conscious mind, where Mercury is the lower octave and rules our human consciousness. And so oftentimes when we think of things like spiritual downloads or answers to prayer or higher knowing, this comes through the vehicle of Uranus, which literally looks like an antenna or a satellite if you look at the glyph. And so when this planet is in retrograde for these few months every year, this is a time where this planet's energies, instead of us seeking that higher cosmic awareness and knowledge from outer sources, we find it within ourselves, especially because it is in the fixed sign of Taurus, which rules the physical body. This is a time where the great awakener planet is found within us. We become our own awakener. We tap into our own inner knowing. We embody who we truly are, and we find that from within. So let's just take a look at and talk about how this has been playing out. First, Taurus is a fixed sign. So all of the fixed signs, whether it's Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, or Aquarius, are going to be feeling all of these Uranian transits energies more profoundly, because Uranus is the planet that revolutionizes. It liberates us. It's a catalyst for change. It's a rebel with a cause, talking about a revolution. So what are we revolutionizing, right? Where have we become fixed in our value systems in the sign of Taurus, and our practicality, our loyalty, our sensibility? All of these areas that are ruled by Taurus are any of the fixed signs that are going to be aspected, are calling us to allow this energy to shift us, to pivot us out of the comfort zone. It's a breakthrough energy by way of our higher knowing. And when this retrograde is occurring, we really do become our own higher power. We find those answers within ourselves and our own individuality and our own higher truth. Now, this interplay between Saturn and Uranus that has been going on all year really is a key component in this retrograde, because the final fourth square to Saturn, which restricts, rules, regulations, tincture of time, the slowdown, the structures of our routines, our belief systems, our lives, whether it's outward in society or inward in our personal lives, are now up for review. Uranus serves to revolutionize any area in our life where we have become fixed into those systems of the past, which are holding us back from actualizing our future potential. And that is what it serves to do by very nature. It's a radical, chaotic, swift energy. And in the sign of Taurus, when you think about Taurus, you think of security. What do I have that I own, that's mine, that I feel secure in, my stability, my resources? So we could have experienced already since 2019 with this energy of play, this Uranian revolt of energy has really been letting us know that those things that we think we are secure in aren't always very secure. And they can be radically removed in an instant. And so we are left in this place of reviewing what is truly of value. And so as this square to Saturn, this restrictor of the structures of the past, comes to this fourth and final square to Uranus in the beginning of October, it is that last and final karmic closure phase for us where we can really, from a place of inner knowing, let go of what no longer serves us. All of the structures of our lives up until this point are now open for innovation and supported in this, okay? And so after that happens, the first 2 weeks of October, Uranus, Saturn will station direct at 18 degrees in Aquarius. So that 18 degrees is a reoccurring degree point, which, you know, is a critical kind of death degree, the death of a cycle. And so this indicates the ability to break old patterns, to step into a new cycle, a new structure. And so what we have at play here are Saturn and Uranus, the ancient and the modern rulers of Aquarius, squaring off to this fixed Taurus energy, where the North Node of Destiny is transiting. So Uranus and the North Node were conjoined in Taurus on July 31st, and then Mars met them on August 1st, asking us to now act on this new alignment, this new embodiment of what is truly of value for our future, what is truly fulfilling, right? And when we think of Taurus, we think of what is abundance to us personally. What do I have that I need to self-sustain, not just to survive, but to thrive? The resources connected to the earth. Taurus rules our ability to draw abundance to us in terms of romance and resources. So this retrograde is a stellar time to revolutionize our thinking in terms of our relationship to love and money. What does the material world really represent for us? And how is that steeped in outdated systems, which now can be absolutely upgraded? So all of the outer planets, the transpersonal planets, by the time Uranus stations retrograde, we will be in the full-on retrograde season, because all the outer planets will be moving through their retrograde for the rest of the year and finishing them up. And Uranus will make really strong aspects during this retrograde, starting in the month of August, to all of the personal planets. So this is an outward change that is now asking for an upgrade, an innovation, a revitalization on a personal level, to the systems of our daily lives, how we self-sustain, how we acclimate towards our future destiny and align with what is of value. And if you think about the North Node of Destiny traveling in Taurus, so that means the South Node is opposite in the sign of Scorpio, the deep emotional fears attached to the past that we are being asked to release on this eclipse axis. And so Uranus stations retrograde in August through January 22nd. Saturn stays at 18 degrees. Saturn stations direct in Aquarius, that Uranus rules, on October 23rd at 18 degrees. Then we have the two final eclipse occurrences for this year. We will have more in the beginning of 2023, but for 2022 on this Taurus Scorpio axis on October 25th and November 8th, we will have a solar eclipse in Scorpio in the end of October, where the South Node is, and then the lunar eclipse in Taurus where the North Node is. And so there's this big theme of how do we acclimate towards our future destiny? These planets in a square, the ancient and modern ruler of Aquarius, the age that we are moving into, are helping us, assisting us, challenging us to reconcile the structures of the past, the restriction, and the higher expression of our own inner knowing about what is fulfilling to us. It is a time to embody during this retrograde, to really tap into those individual parts of us which make us unique, those parts that have always made us feel alien-like or alienated because of our characteristics. Now is a time where we can see that they are our own unique qualities and can help and assist us in moving towards our future fulfillment. Now, on this North Node, South Node axis, I want to talk about a few of the aspects that will be occurring, because Uranus is retrograde during the time where we have the final eclipses in October and November in Taurus, and this is the Scorpio-Taurus axis. So these are very interesting aspects because they incorporate the personal planets and the Scorpio energy of what we're releasing, that Uranus is helping us to let go of. It is helping us to embody our higher thinking that operates above the human ego. So on August the 26th and 27th, right after Uranus stations retrograde on the 24th, Venus, which is in Leo, will be in a square to Uranus. Now keep in mind, Venus is the ruler of Taurus, squaring off against her home sign here. And so this is a time at 18 degrees where, you know, our freedom, our personal dynamics to what we hold of value in the material world will really be accentuated. We may be minimizing. We may be letting go of some things that we thought were of value in terms of relationships or money or jobs, and really investing in more of what is long-term sustainability in terms of nurturing our own bodies through utilization of earth practices like gardening and canning and, you know, more practical type of activities. And then November 5th, Venus will be in Scorpio. She will have moved into Scorpio. Venus, what we value in terms of love and money, the ruler of Taurus where Uranus is. Venus in Scorpio with the South Node will oppose Uranus in Taurus, okay? And so this is really a spin on our traditional form of intimacy, Scorpio, our shared resources, the deep, intimate connection. So we can really now be open-minded to new types of relationships. There could be some shakeups, some breakups of the traditional old relationships. And so We also are looking at new ways of connecting and sharing our resources with others as a result of this opposition on this polarity axis where the nodes are. And that happens on November 5th. November 8th, Mercury, our planet of communication, the lower conscious mind, and Uranus being the higher conscious mind, Mercury will be in Scorpio, where the North Node is transiting, opposing Uranus, just like Venus did. And so this is when our human consciousness and our higher consciousness are able to tap into that piercing insight of Scorpio, and the clarity comes. We're able to work and see the opposite end of the spectrum, the big picture. And so we can start to kind of wrap our brains around some things that were previously unknown in terms of emotional connectivity and shared resources. This is a big breakthrough mentality. It's piercing insight to what was previously hidden. And then on the 9th, right after the eclipse on the 8th, the sun in Scorpio will be in Scorpio season, will be in an opposition to Uranus. And so this really allows us at the final completion of the eclipse season, as they occur in October, November, and these personal planets come into these strong aspects to Uranus, as the sun, which represents our light and our spirit, is in this opposition to Uranus, we can really gain some insight on our own inner strength, of our own authority, and how we can radically show up in the world in a place of power, in our own authority, and do it unapologetically, right? Because that is, if anything, what the Uranus and Aquarius energy understands, is that when we show up exactly as we are, with all of those idiosyncrasies and things that make us different, and we put that out there just in full form and truth, that's what ultimately makes the world a better place. And when we can show up in our own authority, our own integrity, our own truth, then we have more to offer to the collective. You know, it is an inside job. And that really is the energy of the Uranus retrograde. It is an inside job where we embody our own higher knowing and bring it down to a tangible, practical application for the long haul, where we can break through and break free from the restrictive programming, conditioning, and routines of the past. And so I hope that this gives you some clarity and confirmation for some things that you're already sensing in your life. And just remember, as all of these personal planets move through the other fixed signs, Leo and Scorpio and Aquarius, they will be in these really hard aspects to Uranus, which is allowing us to move past the fixed areas of our life that no longer serve us. So please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Astro Matrix channel so you don't miss any important astrological updates. And thank you so much for allowing us to be of service.